We can just bleep it out. He wouldn't stop saying prance.
Meet the team at Sound Booth Theater.
Welcome back to another segment of Meet the Team. I'm sure you guys are really curious who I've got here with me today.
It's me, Santa Claus. Ho, ho, ho. I have a large belly and such. Ho, I give gifts to people. Hello, Emily.
Hey, Santa, thanks so much for coming today. What brings
Not
you
a
to
problem.
this? What brings you to the show?
Oh, I just thought I'd check in with my favourite audiobook publishing company. Yes, of course, yes, to deliver many audiobooks to people's Christmas sacks this year.
Do you listen to audiobooks when you're on the sleigh?
All the time! These headphones are for audiobooks. I'm listening to a different audiobook now by Sound Booth. I don't even know what you're saying. I'm guessing from reading your lips.
Thank you, Santa. Well, I'm sure you have a lot of presents to make and wrap, so we
So
won't
bloody
keep
many.
you here too long.
I have to make so many. They say the elves help. They don't help, okay? I make them. Oh, they make some. I don't know. I'm making a lot of it. I have to oversee. I have to go. I'm very busy.
All right, thank you, Santa. So Santa stopped by to help me remind you guys. Welcome, Gary. Well, anyway, Santa stopped by to help me remind you guys that we have our annual 12 Days of Christmas sale coming up. It starts December 12th, and every day from the 12th on, we will add a new title to the sale. So you'll have to come back each day to see where the discounts are. And in the meantime, I continue to drive myself crazy trying to rewrite verses of 12 Days of Christmas that rhyme with the titles. Now that Santa's gone,
Nice.
We've got Gary Furlong here.
Hello! I like to dress like Santa. We were different people. We were different.
Really?
Absolutely. I'm not Santa.
So where'd the other guy go?
I'm not Santa.
I don't know if I believe you. Oh, that was an awesome start. Thank you so much for being here, Gary. Why don't you tell us your Sound Booth Theater origin story or how you came to work here?
Oh, goodness gracious. I think it goes back to like my very first APAC in Chicago. Was it Chicago? I think it was Chicago 2015 or 16. I'm not sure. And I just went. I had a good time, and I ran into a narrator who I don't think I'd met before called Jeff Hayes. And we were just hanging around at, I think, a Brilliance audio party of some kind. And we just started chatting, and then I became more aware of Jeff via, just because I knew him, so I friended him on Facebook and saw him in some of the Facebook groups. And I just was friendly with him for quite a long time. And then started hearing about this Sound Booth Theater thing, and we had tried to work out a few projects before I actually got on board with Sound Booth, and it never worked. Schedules just never lined up. And then there was one title where it was like, hey, can you do this? And I was like, yes, I can do this. And then we just started doing some work together, and then I met all of y'all, which was very nice.
What would you say is your favorite Sound Booth Theater project that you've worked on thus far, and why?
The Leap of Faith project I did was a lot of fun, and I don't know, it was just great because Justin helped pick it out and said, like, I think you'd be very good for this if you'd like to work with this author. And Justin, who's also the author, was very nice to me too, and like gave me so much character art, character information, and was just like, you could see that he was very invested in the world, and that helped me become like, okay, what do you need? You give me all this stuff, I can give it back to you in like vocal performances. So that was a lot of fun, and it was a very early project that I worked on, so I got to do music for it. I think I did the sound effects for it, and I did my very best, but I had a great time just like, what sound effect would go here? How can I make that? And Sound Booth were like, yo, you want to use our sound library? And I was like, yes, I do. Thank you very much. So I got to do so much on the book, and it was a great series to work on. Every project has been a lot of fun. Like the Prophecy Approved series has been a whole lot of fun. So it was great to just, it was great to work on that. Great to work with Annie. Great to work with everyone on it. So
in addition to all the work that you do with us, you're incredibly prolific as an independent narrator, voice actor, creator, you name it. Why don't you tell us about some of your favorite non-SBT projects?
I do a lot of male romance outside of Sound Booth. It's kind of like I think what I'm best known for, I would think. So within that genre, I get to do a lot of work with like Decent Fellows Press, and most of their books are very good, particularly with Isabel Starling. I work with another author called Jay Hogan. Oh, good, and Haley Turner. Oh no, there's too many. Let me see. I'm working on a book for Jay Hogan now, which is great. It's called Pinot and Pineapple Lumps, and I just finished an Irish historical fiction written by a friend of mine from university years ago. And then she recently started writing, and when she started writing her books, I was like, hey, I'm not sure if I'm the best narrator for this because maybe you would like a female POV or I'm not sure. But anyway, you should get into audiobooks. I think it would be good for your books to get into audio. And she said, oh, great. Thanks so much for the advice. I'm definitely going to like look out for it. And when it came to making an audiobook, she was like, do you want to audition for it just to see how it would sound? And she liked it, and the listeners like it too, I think. So yeah, that's been fun.
Well, obviously, you're frankly, staggeringly talented in narration and VO. We're so lucky to have you. But one of the other things that I've been really impressed with is just how watching you hone your social media presence over the past few
Ooh.
years. I was wondering if, in a nutshell, could you tell us your philosophy when it comes to social media?
Yeah, get someone to help you. Like, and I truly, like, I know I'm not trying to be like flippant or facetious about it. Like, it's difficult to constantly come up with and then make ready for social media content. Like, you might have a great idea, but if you don't have any help, you have to film it, you have to like edit it, you have to think of, well, did I make a good editing choice there? Is this and then you have to think of just like the metadata of all this stuff, like, did I pick the right hashtags? Did I pick the right thumbnail? That stuff, there's so much to think about that if you want to be effective at it, getting someone to help you with it, if possible at all, is one of the best choices I ever made. I have someone who will take a lot of my long form stuff, chop it up into like, and make it actively funny. Like the moment in that he picks, I'm like, okay, I wouldn't have thought that was funny, but what he does with it, he's my brother, by the way, so he does, like, very similar to me, but has his own very like unique sense of humor that just works really well when he's editing my stuff. And like, I look at stuff and laugh at it and think, I'm not laughing at this because I'm funny in it. I'm laughing at it because of the way it's edited, the way it's done for social media, and it's been a huge, huge help to have someone help me do it. So yeah, get someone to help you if you can.
Well, I don't think you're giving yourself enough credit. I think you're very funny, but your brother's been doing a great job. Your brother, the
Absolutely, yeah.
combination, it's been so cool to watch it grow and watch the engagement go up. And
That's the fun bit. Like, I think people focus a lot on like vanity metrics. So like, oh, did I get an amount of views? That doesn't necessarily matter if like you've got 8 views and 7 comments. It's like, shit, that's pretty high engagement on low views. So I think that's always what you want, is people enjoying it, and then you get to talk with them and see what they like and just chat with people back and forth. You get blinded by that. Oh, that person has more views than me or whatever. It's like, yeah, but views don't necessarily matter if they don't convert to anything, and engagement is hopefully
right,
what you want.
right. It's about a high portion of people who are seeing your content being motivated to engage with
Yeah.
it or interact. So switching gears back to, narration, voice acting a little bit, what would be your dream narration or voice acting project and why?
I think if given the choice, and this is kind of a little bit tangential, but like if someone said, hey, Gary, let's leave audiobook narration forever and do a different type of acting, I don't think I could do that permanently, because the way you get to stretch your range in audiobooks is greater than any other media that I've done anyway. Because you're everyone, you have to be everyone. But I think it would be very fun to do a multicast narration, but where the actors are all in the same room together. I don't think have I done that? I don't think I've done that yet. And it's just so nice to be a character while reacting to someone else who is another character, because you can self-direct, do all the stuff yourself, and it can work great and you can get really excellent at it, but you don't know what another person's going to do with a character. So it's completely new when someone like, oh, I wouldn't have done it that way, but now I'll react differently because they did it that way. So yeah, some sort of multicast, all in the same room, huge audio drama thing would be pretty awesome.
That would be cool. And Jeff has talked about something similar. We should try
Oh
to make
yeah,
this happen by the end of next year for an audio
absolutely. Yeah, I'm
drama.
down. I
Just
am
get
down.
everybody to Kansas City. We can just like show up on Jeff's doorstep with our
Yeah,
pillows. We're here.
we didn't organize this. Oh, we did, Jeff. We just didn't tell you. Can we come in?
Here's our shopping list.
Yeah, yeah. Go out and buy that for us now. I'm the boss here.
Yeah, I don't know how this became a twisted slumber party at Jeff's house, but I
Yeah.
do think the idea of getting,
Lumber
a
party at
big
Jeff's.
I
It's an
do think
all
that would be a
Crocs
good idea.
party.
An all Crocs party. He wouldn't come. If it
He
were all
would he
Crocs,
would
he
leave his
wouldn't
own
come.
house.
He would. In all seriousness, though, we should totally try to make this happen.
Oh yeah.
That'd be awesome. I
I'd
think
love that.
it's something a lot of people want to do. There really is nothing like being able to collaborate in person in real time
So
that
good.
way. Kind of like following that a little bit further. If you were not a narrator or voice actor at all, like nothing in this space, what would you be doing? So
My major in university was Japanese for international communication, languages for international communication with a major in Japanese. And I was not good at that language. I wasn't good at it. I got better because I went to Japan and was able to like speak with people there. But that's the only like, my degree is in a language. So maybe I pursue that and I get a job translating. There are so many other jobs that are so difficult. Like, I'd love to be a doctor. I couldn't do that. Like, I don't have the skills to even learn how to do that. It'd be fun if being a doctor was like Scrubs. So in Scrubs universe, I would like to work in that hospital, just not as a doctor.
anyway, I am glad you mentioned Japanese though, because
Oh yeah.
my next question is about your fascinating background. You have lived many different places. Could you please tell us one favorite food from each of the places you've lived?
I'm going to say a sentence that does nothing for the Irish stereotype. I love potatoes. I absolutely, truly love them. In almost any form you can have a potato. So I'm going to say, from Ireland, roast potatoes is the pinnacle of maybe food for me. I don't know. That's a bold statement, but maybe. In Japan, ramen is so good, especially when you have it there. I like sushi. I'm not a sushi connoisseur, but it definitely has great sushi over there. Just like a simple tonkatsu curry is
Ooh.
really good. Like, so good. I went to a sister university of my university over there for my study abroad year, and behind the school there was this like mom and pop shop where they would just, for like $9 you could get the biggest bowl of rice and curry and tonkatsu. And I would get it as often as I could because it's so good, just so good. And the States, and I live in Texas, I like ribs. I've never had ribs really up until I moved here. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna like them ribs. So yeah, I think nice ribs are good. Yeah, ribs, tonkatsu curry, roast potato. I don't think they'd go
Nice.
well together though.
I actually was just thinking that sounds like a great dinner.
I mean, I definitely would be good. It definitely would be good. I might have that for
Yeah, you might have a heart attack the next day, but I
dinner.
think it'd be
Yeah,
worth it,
you'll be buying some
frankly.
Prilosec. Consume Prilosec for your heartburn.
No, they're not paying us.
Don't consume that stuff. Consume generic reflux medication.
Oh boy. Okay, so this one could be kind of serious. It could
Okay.
be, really it's however you take it. But if you could talk to 5 years ago Gary, what is the one piece of advice you would give him?
Yeah, I suppose it would just be like, look, don't be worrying. Like, I think around then there was some stuff going on trying to like, just get like life sorted out. And it's like, you made the right choice. You made the right path. Just double down on it, and try to stress a bit less about some of this stuff, dude. Chill out, please. Yeah, I think it would have to be that, like, because God, and like to a degree, still I'm quite a high-strung person sometimes. But like,
You?
I mean, yeah, like outwardly I'm like, oh, nothing ever bothers me. And it's like last year I was like, yeah, I should go see a therapist. I think that'd be good for me. And it really, really was. Like a lot of the like little hang-ups that stuck with me for like decades, you're just like, oh yeah, I'm kind of okay with that stuff now. So it would have been just like, hey, maybe don't sweat the small stuff as much as you are doing it, because it can all be, it will get better. Don't be worrying. There's ways to sweat the small stuff in like business, like, that'll, like, the little things matter. But in life, if you drop a fork on the ground, there's no need to think that fork has betrayed you and want to murder the fork, Which is you would think that's a weird reaction to dropping a fork, but like every now and then you'd be like, "Fuck you, fork." So yeah, go to therapy sooner. It does help if you can do it. It really helps. Like if you were told you could only have one car ever in your whole life, what would you do? You'd be like, well, I would look after that car so well because it's the only one I'm ever gonna have. It's like, why don't you do that with your body and why don't you do that with your mind? Like they're like way more valuable to you than anything else. So why not maintain them as best you can? And at the heart of it, I think that's what therapy is. It's just like, oh yeah, you're just maintaining your mental health and making sure you're at a good level most of the time.
Totally. It's not
Yeah.
always transformative, but it's always, you know,
It's always
I don't know, positive,
useful,
even if
I
it's
think.
challenging. Yes,
Yeah.
useful. That's the word.
There's definitely times I'd be like, what am I gonna I'm feeling okay today. I don't know what I'm gonna tell her. And then you get into it and you're like, oh, I was worried about something. Okay, great to know that and great to get it off my chest. Or sometimes it's genuinely like, you know what? I've had a great week. I can't really complain about much, but I do enjoy talking with you and this has been nice. So it's win-win, either way.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. So I guess big therapy owes us now for endorsing it.
Big therapy. Sponsored by
Well,
Superior Help.
yeah, well, I mean, we've moved away from various gastrointestinal medications, so might
Yeah.
as well seek sponsorship from big therapy. Okay, this is the last question of the night. You've been so awesome. What is your favorite little known fun fact?
You are not allowed to eat giant tortoise anymore. There was a point where they tried to ship the tortoises back to the UK from wherever they were indigenous to, and the fuckers ate them all on the way back. And they were like, it is the most delicious meat. It is better than the cow. It is better. And they were just like, it was so good, they ate all of them. And now the poor animals are endangered. So that's little known. It's not fun. I apologize. It's not a fun fact. But you can't eat them. You can't eat tortoises, the ones with flippers.
Oh, that is little known. It's interesting. Yeah, it's definitely a downer, but I
It is a
mean, I guess
downer.
fun facts can be downers too.
Do I know a fun one? You know snails have mouths? Like you wouldn't
No?
think a snail has a mouth, but there are videos online of snails like eating leaves, and you can see like their little antennae are like here, and it's just like, oh no, no.
That's fun. Do they have teeth?
I don't know. I think they just kind of gum it. They're like, get it in.
Nah.
I saw a video and was like, dude, you got a good camera. One, how did you get those snails? And they're like snails are cute and they got mouths.
Oh, wow. Okay, so
Fun
snails
fact.
have mouths and you can't eat tortoises. All right, Gary. Well, do you have anything to add before I let you go here?
Make sure you consume lots of reflux. No. Um, you should check out all of Sound Booth's stuff because it's great. And anything you might like from me as well, also great. You should just get lots of audiobooks. Just do it and enjoy them and have a good time. That's my
That's the
last thing.
moral of the story
Yeah.
here for guys. Listen to audiobooks this holiday season and don't forget our 12 Days of Christmas sale. Thank you guys so much. Gary, thank you especially. Until the next installment.